Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your support in this platform, and I don't take it for granted. Let's listen to Kipchumba Murkomen, who was having an interview on the parliamentary vetting, trying to defend himself, and he refused that he never exposed his rich or expensive watch and so many things that he owns in this life.
If you get one shoe or one watch like the one I got when I was in primary school, that is your Sunday best. That is your Sunday best. It's that one expensive thing you have that sometimes you are happy with. But to say I'm opulent, Mr. Speaker, I must say this with utmost respect. I have never gloated anywhere about anything I wear, anything I have, Mr. Speaker. Even where I live, Mr. Speaker, I've never gone to announce to people that I have this kind of a house. Or, Mr. Speaker, I've never even bragged about the car I drive. Even if all those things could be more expensive than the things that have been mentioned. Mr. Speaker, on the question of opulence, Mr. Speaker, I must say this with utmost respect. I do not know even what opulence means, Mr. Speaker. And let me say this. I take it to mean that people who are opulent are the ones that bask in wealth and modern things. You will see them exposing where they are with their families, where they live, going to showing which car they drive and all that. Mr. Speaker, I just became a victim, unfortunately, of a crossfire, of a conversation. On things, Mr. Speaker, I do not go anywhere to announce to somebody that I wear this, I do that. It's just that some pictures take something you wear and this, that, Mr. Speaker. Ultimately...
And you spoke carelessly somewhere.
Ultimately, Mr. Speaker...
In some radio show.
It wasn't careless, Mr. Speaker. Ultimately, yes. I was asked in a radio show a direct question. What is the most expensive shoe, tie, watch you have ever worn? Mr. Speaker, I had two choices. You didn't
know it was a trick?
No, it's not a trick. Even if it was a trick, I had two choices. Either to lie or to say the truth.
Or not to answer.
Mr. Speaker, no, let me just come to that.
That was the third
Mr. Speaker, I would have refused to answer, but yes. I also had the opportunity to say the truth. And by saying that truth, Mr. Speaker, having been put that question to me, Mr. Speaker, it was not by my own choice to go and say, and Mr. Speaker, you know, for me who has grown up as a son of a squatter in Embobut Forest, you know that even when we were growing up, if you get one shoe or one watch like the one I got when I was in primary school, that is your Sunday best. That is your Sunday best. It's that one expensive thing you have that sometimes you are happy with. But to say I'm opulent, Mr. Speaker, I must say this with utmost respect. I have never gloated anywhere about anything I wear, anything I have, Mr. Speaker. Even where I live, Mr. Speaker, I've never gone to announce to people that I have this kind of a house. Or, Mr. Speaker, I've never even bragged about the car I drive. Even if all those things could be more expensive than the things that have been mentioned. And I have said this, and I say this when the president nominated me. There is a verse in the Bible that says, if your eye is going to hurt a neighbor or your hand is going to hurt a neighbor, you better gouge it out so that you don't make your neighbor to sin. And I say this when the president nominated me, that if in any way I behaved either by speech or conduct or my lifestyle, Mr. Speaker, in a manner that hurts any Kenyan, I apologize profusely. Mr. Speaker, that I said, and I mean it. I mean it as a Kipchumba, and I mean it as a Christian. That if I had, and Mr. Speaker, to demonstrate my commitment, Mr. Speaker, if any Kenyan tells me tomorrow that you can only wear butter shoes, and it will help me, Mr. Speaker, I'm being very honest, that if you wear only butter shoes, it will promote us to focus on your job and to hold you account on your job, Mr. Speaker, I'll do so. Because I do not want anything to distract the people of Kenya from the things I do. And I say this, Mr. Speaker, this is the conclusion, having managed, Mr. Speaker, a ministry that has so many agencies and a huge budget, I am extremely proud as Kipchumba Murkomen that for 2 years, I have not been mentioned on questions of incompetence. I've done my job with utmost hard work. The people I've left back in the ministry are very proud of the work we did. Number two, Mr. Speaker, that in those 2 years, I have not been accused by anybody on anything related to impropriety or corruption. integrity is my middle name, Mr. Speaker, and I intend to keep that integrity, Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the misconception that came around this. And I will remain in that narrow path, Mr. Speaker, for the benefit of our country.
Don't fear, don't live in fear.
Now, you've listened to Murkomen. Why do you think he denies? He denied, to even to express himself. By the way, as a leader, you must speak the truth. Murkomen came in social media during Obina's interview and exposed his expensive watch and belt, if I'm not wrong. I don't know if I can display that video clip, or if you want me to display it, I can. But let us all forget with the history and just put Murkomen on a shame. Murkomen, you have been my brother in politics. But this time around, leo umetudanganya. Umetudanganya sana. You was just supposed to be humble yourself and accept the mistake and carry on with this life. So many of you brag. Even Oscar Sudi bragged on 17 million watches. Watch, I heard it was bought to him by Raila Odinga. So many of you, the problem of you have, you guys, that you brag a lot. Even Joe said it today. How can you just come out from your house, travel or drive your vehicle to social media? For instance, I book appointment with one of the political analysts, Lee Makweni or Boniface Dream or David Wafula or even Sture Punchline or Denis Odingo, and even at Citizen TV. Then they are doing for me interview. I come and start bragging. I have this and that, this in the and this is with me here. So how is this going to help Kenyans? So today I want to thank the Parliament of Moses Masika Wetangula, the Speaker of the National Assembly, for the good job. This is just a lesson to be learned by each and every politician in this country. Please don't brag too much. We know you are wealthy. Kenyans know that. But you must understand that there is time for everything. There is time to laugh. There is time to cry. There is time to die. There is time to be risen again. That is what you must understand. Wealth is just a seasonal life we experience. We experience, by the way. Today you might be rich driving TX. Tomorrow you will no longer be seen. But just flash back the legacy you ought to leave behind, and humble and humility you have. So that is why Murkomen refuses. And he denied in social media. But he bragged during Obina's interview. Not only Murkomen, several of them have been bragging. So why denying? Why denying? You are just supposed to accept and move on. No one was going to hurt you. Because sometimes, by the way, some people are created that way. You never know. Some were created on that way, loose mouth. They were created to brag. That is their nature. Some were created to brag for nothing. That is their nature. But at long last, we are all in the same journey in this life. For a better future in this our country, if we have leaders who are bragging, then we are at risk. Because they will only concentrating on how they loot billions of money and reach themselves. But even the silent one are the worst again. What am I trying to say? Character matters a lot. Characters determines your leadership potential, your leadership capability. Murkomen, you must understand this. Kenyans are very clever. But I thank you so much because you are going to be given that position as CS of transport. Please focused to the people agenda, and come and obey President's plea, because he appointed you after he knows your potential on the position he have given you. President cannot just come out in State House and say, today, Charles, you are going to be Minister of Agriculture. No, you must have skill. Hata wenye wana apply CV lazima kuwe na ile experience, ndio? Hey, tunyenyekee tu. Mali inakuja na inaenda. But let us just remain focused and help Kenyans. Let us grow together and come united as a country. Tuachane na siasa za fitina, tuachane na siasa za chuki. I rest my case at that point. If you've never subscribed to this YouTube platform, please subscribe. Like this video. Watch, share, and give us your opinion. Remember, the reason why I'm insisting you to subscribe to support this platform, we are on a road path of 4,000 subscribers, which I believe at the end of this month, we're gonna make it. And I will really appreciate you so much, and thank you so much. God bless you. God bless Kenya, and bye-bye. This marks the end of our political discussion today.